Unexpected encounter. The vast emptiness of space stretched before Captain Alex Rees as he piloted the scout ship Horizon through an uncharted solar system. His mission was simple: survey, document, and move on. No complications, no surprises. But the universe, it seemed, had other plans. "Captain, I'm picking up an unusual energy signature from the third planet," Lieutenant Sarah Chen called out from her station. "It's faint, but definitely artificial." Alex leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. "Put it on screen." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a harsh, rocky world bathed in the eerie glow of a red dwarf star. Storms raged across its surface, whipping up dust devils that could be seen even from orbit. "Doesn't look like the kind of place that could support life," Alex mused. "Any signs of structures or technology?" Sarah shook her head. "Nothing obvious, sir. But that energy signature, it's not like anything in our database." Alex drummed his fingers on the armrest of his chair. Protocol dictated they should report the anomaly and move on. But something nagged at him, a gut feeling he couldn't shake. "Prep the lander," he decided. "We're going to take a closer look." As they descended through the planet's turbulent atmosphere, the true hostility of the environment became apparent. Jagged rock formations jutted from barren plains, while acidic rain pelted their craft. "This place is a nightmare," muttered Chief Engineer Zach Torres as he struggled to keep their systems stable. "Whatever's down here, it can't be good news." They touched down in a relatively sheltered canyon, the lander's shields barely holding against the corrosive atmosphere. Alex suited up, double-checking the seals on his exosuit. "Stay alert," he warned his team as they stepped out onto the alien world. "This place could kill us in a heartbeat." They hadn't gone more than 100 meters when Sarah's handheld scanner began to beep insistently. "The energy signature," she said, her voice tight with excitement. "It's coming from there." Alex followed her pointing finger to a dark crevice in the canyon wall. As they approached, he could make out the dim outline of what appeared to be a door, unmistakably artificial. "Stand back," he ordered, drawing his plasma cutter. With a few precise movements, he carved through the ancient locking mechanism, and the door creaked open. The interior was pitch black, their suit lights barely penetrating the gloom. As they ventured deeper, Alex's light fell upon something that made his breath catch in his throat. There, curled up in a corner, was a figure. Humanoid, but clearly not human. Its skin was a pale lavender, shot through with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed weakly. Large, almond-shaped eyes blinked up at them, filled with a mixture of fear and desperate hope. "My God," Sarah whispered, "it's alive." The alien's lips moved, forming words they couldn't understand, but the meaning was clear in the way it reached out a trembling hand. "Help me." Alex didn't hesitate. He knelt beside the alien, already running a medical scan. "We need to get it back to the ship," he said. "This atmosphere is toxic, and these readings, it's dying." As gently as they could, they lifted the frail alien and carried it back to the lander. The moment they were aboard, Alex barked orders to prep the med bay and set course for the Horizon. In the ship's sterile medical bay, they worked frantically to stabilize their unexpected passenger. Its physiology was unlike anything they'd encountered, but the basics of life support were universal. Hours passed before the alien's condition finally stabilized. Alex stood at the foot of the bed, watching the steady rise and fall of its chest. "What do we do now, Captain?" Sarah asked, her voice hushed. Before Alex could answer, the alien's eyes fluttered open. It gazed at them, no longer with fear, but with a spark of intelligence and curiosity. And then, to their utter astonishment, it spoke. "Thank you." The words were halting, heavily accented, but unmistakably in English. Alex leaned in, his heart racing. You can understand us." The alien nodded slowly. "Learn, quickly. Gift of my people." "Who are you?" Alex asked. "What were you doing on that planet?" A shadow passed over the alien's face. "I am Zara, My people abandoned me, left to die. The revelation sent a chill through Alex. What kind of civilization would do such a thing? Why? He pressed gently. Why would they abandon you? Zara's luminescent patterns flickered, a visual representation of the turmoil within. I am different, feel too much. They say, dangerous. Slowly, the pieces began to fall into place. Zara wasn't just alien in appearance. She possessed some kind of empathic ability that her own people feared. You're safe now, Alex assured her, surprising himself with the depth of conviction in his voice. We'll help you. Zara's large eyes glistened with what Alex realized were tears. Why? She asked, echoing his earlier question. Why help, stranger? Alex smiled, feeling a surge of pride in his species. Because that's what humans do. We help those in need, no matter who or what they are. For the first time, Zara's face lit up with a tentative smile. Humans, she repeated, as if tasting the word. Fascinating creatures. As Alex looked down at this fragile, remarkable being, he knew their lives had changed forever. The simple survey mission was now anything but simple. They had stumbled upon something extraordinary, not just first contact with an alien species, but a chance to right a terrible wrong. Rest now, he told Zara. When you're stronger, we'll figure out our next move together. As he left the med bay, Alex's mind raced with the implications of their discovery. They had rescued Zara, yes, but in doing so, they had potentially embroiled themselves in alien politics they didn't understand. The safe, logical choice would be to drop her off at the nearest neutral outpost and continue their mission. But as he remembered the look in Zara's eyes, the fear, the hope, the wonder, Alex knew he could never abandon her the way her people had. Whatever came next, they would face it together. Human and alien, united by compassion and a shared desire for understanding. The adventure was only beginning. Journey together. As the horizon drifted through the star-speckled void, Captain Alex Rees found himself spending more and more time in the med bay. Zara's recovery was nothing short of miraculous, a testament to both her alien resilience and the skill of the ship's medical team. Your biology is fascinating, Dr. Amelia Wong remarked as she reviewed Zara's latest scans. The way your cellular structure adapts, it's like nothing we've ever seen. Zara tilted her head, her bioluminescent patterns shifting in what Alex had come to recognize as a sign of curiosity. Your technology, also fascinating, so different from my people. Alex leaned against the doorframe, watching the interaction with a mixture of wonder and unease. In the week since they'd rescued Zara, she had picked up English at an astonishing rate. Her gift, as she called it, seemed to extend beyond mere empathy. Zara, he said, drawing her attention, I think it's time we talked about what happens next. The alien's large eyes met his, a flicker of apprehension passing through them. You wish me to leave? No, Alex said quickly, surprised by the vehemence in his own voice. No, that's not it at all. But we need to figure out our next steps. My crew and I, we're on a mission. And you? Well, we need to decide what's best for you. Zara was silent for a moment, her patterns pulsing slowly. I cannot return to my people, she said finally. They fear what I am, what I can do. And what exactly is that? Dr. Wong asked gently. You've mentioned your gift, but we still don't fully understand it. Zara's gaze dropped to her hands, which were clasped tightly in her lap. I feel everything. The emotions of others, their thoughts, their very essence. My people believe such connection is dangerous, that it will lead to chaos. Alex frowned. But isn't understanding each other a good thing? How could that be dangerous? Because, Zara said, looking up at him with eyes that seemed to peer into his very soul, with understanding comes influence. And my people fear those who can sway the hearts and minds of others. The implications of her words hung heavy in the air. Alex could see why society might fear such an ability. In the wrong hands, it could indeed be a powerful weapon. But you don't use it that way, he said, more statement than question. Zara shook her head vehemently. Never to harm, only to understand, to heal. But they would not listen. They called me abomination. The pain in her voice was palpable, and Alex felt a surge of protective anger. How could anyone reject someone so gentle, so eager to connect? Well, you're not an abomination to us, he said firmly. You're a person, Zara. One who deserves respect and freedom. Zara's patterns flared brightly, a visual representation of the emotion that washed over her face. You are kind, Alex. All of you. So different from what I knew. That's humanity for you, Dr. Wong said with a smile. We're a mess of contradictions, but at our best, we strive to be better, to understand the unknown rather than fear it. As if on cue, the ship's alarms began to blare. Alex's comm crackled to life with Lieutenant Chen's urgent voice. Captain, to the bridge immediately. We've got company. Alex's heart raced as he sprinted to the bridge, Zara following close behind despite Dr. Wong's protests. As they burst onto the command deck, Alex's breath caught in his throat. On the view screen loomed a massive ship, its design utterly alien yet undeniably similar to Zara's own bioluminescent patterns. It pulsed with an otherworldly energy that set Alex's teeth on edge. They found me, Zara whispered, her voice trembling. Before Alex could respond, the alien ship unleashed a barrage of energy weapons. The horizon rocked violently, shields straining under the assault. Evasive maneuvers. Alex barked, strapping himself into the captain's chair. Zack, I need everything you've got in the engines. As they dove and weaved through space, narrowly avoiding the relentless attacks, Alex's mind raced. They were outgunned and outmaneuvered. Their only hope was to somehow communicate, to make Zara's people understand. Zara, he called out, an idea forming. Can you use your gift? Can you reach out to them, make them feel what you feel? Zara's eyes widened, fear and hope warring in their depths. I can try. But Alex, if I do this, they will know. They will feel everything. My pain, my joy, my connection to you. Alex met her gaze, understanding the weight of what she was saying. In that moment, he realized that somewhere along the way, Zara had become more than just a rescued alien. She had become part of his crew, his friend, perhaps something more. Do it, he said softly. Show them who you really are, who we are. Zara nodded, closing her eyes in concentration. Her bioluminescent patterns began to pulse rapidly, growing brighter and brighter until she seemed to glow from within. Suddenly, Alex felt a wave of emotion wash over him, not just his own, but the feelings of his entire crew. Fear, determination, hope, and underneath it all, a fierce protectiveness for Zara. He knew instinctively that the alien ship was feeling it too. The barrage of weapons fire ceased abruptly. For a long moment, there was silence. Then, a new voice crackled over the comms, alien, yet somehow familiar. Zara, it said, a mixture of awe and trepidation in its tone. What have you done? Zara opened her eyes, tears streaming down her face. I showed them the truth, she said simply. I showed them humanity. As the alien ship powered down its weapons, Alex felt a profound sense of change settling over them all. They had faced destruction and emerged not just alive, but understood. Open a channel, he ordered, his voice steady despite the adrenaline still coursing through him. I think it's time we had a real conversation. As the view screen flickered to life, revealing the alien captain, a being strikingly similar to Zara, Alex knew that nothing would ever be the same. They had not just survived an encounter with an advanced alien species, they had potentially brokered a peace that could change the course of galactic history. And at the center of it all was Zara, the abandoned alien who had found a home among the stars, bridging the gap between two vastly different cultures. As negotiations began, Alex caught Zara's eye and smiled. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, human and alien, united by understanding and the boundless potential of compassion. The journey was far from over. In fact, it was only just beginning. Galactic intrigue. The negotiations with Zara's people, who called themselves the Luminary, stretched on for days. Captain Alex Rees found himself thrust into the role of diplomat, a task he approached with a mixture of determination and barely concealed anxiety. You must understand, the Luminary ambassador, a stern-faced being named Thax intoned. Zara's abilities pose a significant threat to the stability of our society. Alex leaned forward, his jaw set. With all due respect, Ambassador, what I understand is that you abandoned a member of your own species out of fear. Where I come from, that's not just wrong, it's criminal. Zara, seated beside Alex, placed a gentle hand on his arm. Her touch sent a cascade of calming emotions through him, not manipulating but sharing. Please, she said softly, let me speak. As all eyes turned to her, Zara's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with a quiet intensity. My people, she began, her voice steady despite the emotion Alex could feel radiating from her. I know you fear what I can do, but in my time with the humans, I've learned that this gift, our gift, doesn't have to be a source of division, it can be a bridge. She gestured to the assembled human crew. These beings, so different from us, welcomed me without hesitation. They've shown me that understanding doesn't lead to chaos, it leads to growth, to compassion, to possibilities we've never imagined. As Zara spoke, Alex noticed a subtle shift in the Luminary delegation. Their own bioluminescent patterns, usually tightly controlled, began to flicker and pulse in response to her words. Thax's stern expression wavered, but the potential for manipulation is no greater than the potential for kindness, Alex interjected. An idea struck him, bold and potentially reckless. Ambassador, if you're willing, I propose an experiment. All eyes turned to him, curiosity piqued. Alex took a deep breath. Let Zara connect with you, all of you. Not to influence, but to share. Let her show you what she's experienced, what she's learned, and in return, open yourselves to her. Let her feel your fears, your hopes. True understanding goes both ways. A tense silence fell over the room. The Luminary delegates exchanged wary glances, their patterns flickering rapidly in what Alex assumed was their version of heated debate. Finally, Thax nodded. We will consider your proposal, but be warned, Captain. If we detect any attempt at manipulation, the consequences will be severe. As the Luminary filed out to deliberate, Alex slumped in his chair, exhaustion washing over him. Zara's hand found his, her touch sending a wave of gratitude and something deeper, something that made his heart race. Thank you, she whispered, for believing in me, for giving me a chance to bridge this divide. Alex smiled, squeezing her hand. That's what we do, remember? Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our adaptability. It's our capacity for empathy, for seeing the best in others, even when they're nothing like us. As they waited for the Luminary's decision, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the precipice of something monumental. If this worked, if they could forge a true understanding between humans and Luminary, the implications for galactic peace were staggering. But doubt nagged at him. What if he was wrong? What if Zara's abilities really were too dangerous? What if? His spiraling thoughts were interrupted by a commotion in the corridor. Lieutenant Chen burst into the room, her face pale. Captain, we've got a problem. A big one. Alex was on his feet in an instant. What is it? We've detected a massive energy surge from the Luminary ship, Chen reported. They're powering up weapons and, sir, I think they're preparing to fire on the planet below. Horror washed over Alex. The planet, a small, habitable world they'd been orbiting during negotiations, was home to a pre-spaceflight civilization. An attack would be catastrophic. But why? Zara gasped, her patterns flaring with distress. My people are not conquerors. A chilling realization dawned on Alex. Unless, this was never about you, Zara. What if there's a faction within the Luminary that wants to eliminate any potential threat? a civilization that might one day rival their own power. Zara's eyes widened. The purists, she breathed. A fringe group that believes in luminary superiority, but they never had enough influence to exile you? Alex finished grimly. Maybe they did, and now they're making their real move. The weight of the moment pressed down on them. Millions of innocent lives hung in the balance, and the fragile peace they'd been building was about to shatter. We have to stop them, Alex declared, already moving towards the bridge. Zara, I need you with me. If we can't outgun them, maybe we can outthink them. As they raced to confront this new threat, Alex's mind whirled with possibilities. They were one small ship against a vastly superior force, but they had something the purists didn't: the power of genuine connection. He glanced at Zara, saw the determination blazing in her eyes, and felt a surge of hope. Whatever happened next, they would face it together. Human ingenuity and luminary empathy united against the darkness of fear and prejudice. The true test of their unlikely alliance was about to begin, with the fate of an entire world hanging in the balance. Turning the tables, the bridge of the horizon crackled with tension as Alex and Zara burst in. The view screen showed the massive luminary ship, its weapons systems pulsing with ominous energy. Status report, Alex barked, sliding into the captain's chair. Their main cannon is charging, Lieutenant Chen reported, her fingers flying over the tactical display. Estimated time to fire, 3 minutes. Alex's mind raced. They couldn't hope to destroy the luminary ship, and their shields wouldn't withstand a direct hit. They needed a plan, fast. Zara, he said, turning to the alien at his side. You said your gift allows you to connect with others. How far can you reach? Zara's bioluminescent patterns flickered with uncertainty. I've never tried at this distance, but theoretically, there's no limit. Why? A daring plan began to form in Alex's mind. What if you could connect not just with the purists, but with the entire crew of that ship? Show them the truth, about you, about us, about the innocent lives they're about to destroy. Zara's eyes widened. It would be overwhelming. For them and for me, I'm not sure I can control it at that scale. Alex took her hand, ignoring the raised eyebrows of his crew. You can. I believe in you, and we'll be right here, anchoring you. Zara nodded, steeling herself. I'll need to be closer. Can you get us within visual range? Chen, you heard her. Get us as close as you can without triggering their weapons. The horizon surged forward, dancing through the debris field that separated them from the luminary vessel. Proximity alarms blared as they came to a stop, the massive alien ship filling their view screen. Now, Zara, Alex urged, show them who we really are. Zara closed her eyes, her entire body beginning to glow with an otherworldly light. Alex felt a tug at the edge of his consciousness, then a flood of sensation washed over him. He was Zara, feeling the sting of rejection from her people. He was the luminary gunner, finger poised over the firing control, doubt gnawing at his resolve. He was the primitive alien on the planet below, looking up at the stars in wonder, unaware of the threat looming above. Through it all, he felt Zara's presence, a beacon of empathy and understanding, bridging the vast gulf between species and minds. On the view screen, the luminary ship's weapons flickered and died. Across every channel, voices cried out in a cacophony of realization and remorse. By the eternal light, Fax's voice crackled over the comm. What have we almost done? Zara's eyes snapped open, tears streaming down her face. They understand now, she gasped. All of them. The beauty, the pain, the sheer preciousness of life. Alex squeezed her hand, his own cheeks wet. You did it. You showed them the truth. But their victory was short-lived. A new alarm blared, and Chen's voice cut through the emotional haze. Captain, I'm detecting a power surge from within the luminary ship. It's like they're tearing themselves apart. Horror dawned on Alex. In their rush to connection, had they triggered some kind of catastrophic overload in the luminary systems? Zara, what's happening? he demanded. Her patterns pulsed rapidly, eyes unfocused. The purists. They would rather die than accept the truth. They're overloading the core. Alex's tactical training kicked in. If that ship exploded this close to the planet, the devastation would be unthinkable. Chen, full reverse. Get us out of the blast radius. He turned to Zara, desperation in his eyes. Can you stop them? Zara shook her head. Anguish etched across her features. There are too many minds, too much chaos. I can't. Yes, we can, Alex insisted, gripping her shoulders. You bridged two species, showed us the best of ourselves. Now show them. Remind the Luminari of who they truly are. Something shifted in Zara's eyes. She nodded once, then closed her eyes, her entire body tensing with effort. The seconds ticked by, each one an eternity. The horizon shuddered as it backed away from the Luminari's ship, which was now visibly shaking, arcs of energy crackling across its hull. Just as Alex was about to order full retreat, the energy dissipated. The Luminari ship stabilized, its lights flickering back to life. Zara sagged in his arms, exhausted but triumphant. It's done, she whispered. They've chosen life. The bridge erupted in cheers, the crew's relief palpable. Alex felt a weight lift from his shoulders, replaced by a swelling pride in his crew, in Zara, in the sheer resilience of life itself. As the adrenaline faded, he realized that this was more than just a averted disaster. They had witnessed the birth of something unprecedented, a true meeting of minds across the stars. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing Thax and a group of Luminari officials. Their patterns pulsed with a harmony Alex had never seen before. Captain Rees, Thax began, his voice heavy with emotion. We owe you a debt we can never fully repay. You and Zara, you've shown us a better way. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. This is only the beginning, he said. There's so much we can learn from each other. As humans and Luminari began the delicate work of building a lasting peace, Alex turned to Zara. Her eyes shone with a mix of exhaustion and hope that took his breath away. So, he said softly, what do we do now? Zara's patterns shifted into what he now recognized as a smile. We explore, Alex, together. There's a whole galaxy out there, full of minds to touch and wonders to discover. As the Horizon and the Luminari ship moved into a peaceful orbit, Alex couldn't help but feel that they were on the cusp of a new era. Humanity had taken its first real steps into a larger universe, not with weapons or conquest, but with empathy and understanding. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them united, a bridge between stars, forged in compassion and strengthened by love. The adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning. A new future. The great hall of the United Earth Embassy buzzed with excitement. Dignitaries from a dozen worlds mingled, their diverse forms a testament to the new era of galactic cooperation. At the center of it all stood Captain Alex Rees and Zara, the unlikely pair who had sparked a revolution of empathy across the stars. I still can't believe we're here, Alex murmured, tugging at the collar of his dress uniform. A year ago, I was just a scout ship captain. Now we're about to sign a historic peace treaty. Zara's hand found his, her touch sending a familiar wave of calm through him. Her bioluminescent patterns pulsed with a mix of joy and nervousness. We have come far, my love, but our journey is far from over. Alex's heart swelled at her words. Their relationship had blossomed in the months following the Luminari incident, a love that transcended species and had become a symbol of unity for both their peoples. A hush fell over the crowd as Ambassador Thax approached the podium, his once stern features now softened by understanding. Friends, allies, fellow sentients, he began, his voice carrying across the hall. We stand here today not as separate species, but as a united galaxy. As Thax spoke of the challenges they'd overcome and the bright future ahead, Alex found his mind wandering to the incredible journey that had brought them to this moment. The months following first contact had been a whirlwind. Earth's governments had initially reacted with fear and suspicion to the news of advanced alien life. But as Zara's story spread, as more humans experienced the profound connection of her gift, hearts and minds began to change. The Luminari, too, had undergone a transformation. The attempted attack on the primitive world had shaken their society to its core. With the purists' plot exposed, a new wave of leaders emerged, those who embraced connection rather than feared it. Zara had been at the forefront of it all, tirelessly working to bridge the gap between species. Her ability to share emotions and experiences became the foundation for a new form of diplomacy, one based on genuine understanding rather than cold political calculation. There had been setbacks, of course. Hardliners on both sides had resisted the change, clinging to old prejudices and fears. But with each mind touched, each connection forged, the movement for unity grew stronger. Alex smiled as he remembered the day they'd made their case before the United Earth Council. Zara had stood before the assembled leaders, her presence radiant, and opened her mind to them. In that moment, humanity's representatives had felt the vastness of the cosmos, the beauty of alien worlds, and the simple truth that despite their differences, all sentient life shared a common spark. The vote for alliance had been unanimous. A gentle squeeze of his hand brought Alex back to the present. Zara was looking at him, her large eyes filled with love and excitement. "It's time," she whispered. Together, they approached the podium. The treaty before them was more than just a political document. It was a promise. A promise of shared knowledge, of mutual protection, of a future where the stars themselves were the only limit to what they could achieve. As Alex raised the pen to sign, a thought struck him. This moment, momentous as it was just the beginning. There were still countless worlds to explore, civilizations to meet, wonders to discover. He caught Zara's eye and saw the same realization reflected there. Their adventure was far from over. With a flourish, Alex signed his name. The hall erupted in cheers, a chorus of voices both human and alien celebrating a new chapter in galactic history. As congratulations poured in from all sides, Alex pulled Zara close. "So, Ambassador," he said with a grin, using her new official title. "Where do we go from here?" Zara's patterns shimmered with mischief and joy. "Oh, my dear Captain," she replied, her voice low and teasing. "I believe we have a universe to explore." Later that night, as the celebrations wound down, Alex and Zara stood on the balcony of their quarters, gazing up at the star-filled sky. The glittering lights of the city below mirrored the cosmic tapestry above, a fitting symbol of the union between Earth and the greater galactic community. "Do you ever wonder," Alex mused, his arm around Zara's waist, "what would have happened if we'd never found you on that planet?" Zara was quiet for a moment, her patterns pulsing thoughtfully. "I believe," she said finally, "that the universe has a way of bringing together those who are meant to meet. Perhaps not always in the way we expect, but always in the way we need." Alex chuckled. "That's pretty profound for someone who claims not to be a philosopher." "I've learned from the best," Zara replied, nuzzling against him. "Humans have a remarkable capacity for finding meaning in the chaos of existence." As they stood there, basking in the warmth of their connection, a streak of light blazed across the sky, a ship departing for some distant world. "You know," Alex said, a familiar spark of adventure igniting in his eyes, "that Horizon's been refitted for deep space exploration. Starfleet's looking for volunteers to lead the first joint human luminary expedition beyond known space." Zara's patterns flared with excitement. "Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting, Captain Reeves?" Alex grinned. "Well, Ambassador, I think it's time we got back to what we do best. Exploring strange new worlds, seeking out new life and new civilizations. And boldly going where no one has gone before," Zara finished, her voice filled with laughter and love. As they sealed their new mission with a kiss, both knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Human and luminary, bound by love and united in purpose, a shining example of what was possible when fear gave way to understanding. The stars beckoned, promising new adventures, new connections, and a future brighter than either of them could have imagined. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Alex and Zara stepped forward into that future, hand in hand, ready to write the next chapter in their extraordinary story. The universe, vast and wondrous, awaited.